Hello to all my friends and family, and welcome to Jim's 5 a.m. Club. It's lunchtime on this beautiful Tuesday. As you can see, it's a blue sky, a little bit cloudy, or should I say a little bit smoky, sorry. Not cloudy, but smoky, because they've been doing some burn-offs around Sydney, and there's not much of a breeze to blow it away. So the smoke's been hanging around for quite a while. But I think it's clearing slowly but surely. Anyway, let's go on a walk and talk. Today I want to do a book summary entitled How We Got to Now. How We Got to Now by Stephen Johnson. An interesting book which will talk to us about the innovations and the technology that we have in our lives, and how we have breakthroughs which lead to bigger breakthroughs. And I guess from to make it relevant in terms of what's happening around us today, I just want you to think about what's happening with COVID-19 and the amount of money and technology and research that is being performed across the globe by many independent groups. At this point in time, I think we've got at least 6 or 8 independent vaccines that have been developed. And that development, the learning, the technology that's been applied to achieving this momentous outcome is going to hold us in good stead, and it's going to be the foundation and the building blocks for future significant breakthroughs in medicine, in technology, in work style, lifestyle, you name it. Because it's through hardship where innovation seems to take root. And as I say, necessity is the mother of all invention. So this book here talks a little bit about that, and what we'll do is we'll step through it and see where it leads us on this beautiful autumn day. So the author has a little quote that he kicks off his book with, and I guess we'll just focus on that quote for now. So the quote says that sometimes the way a new technology breaks is almost as interesting as the way it works. So I guess what the author is suggesting here is that things don't happen sequentially, they just happen and they just explode out of nowhere. And each step in the path can become a springboard to future growth and development. So the first formal point to come out of this book, I'll just go upstairs here to the International Passenger Terminal. The first formal point to come out of this book is where the author says that sometimes innovations don't directly cause change, but create the right environment for it. That's a really, really powerful point, because he goes on to say that the Renaissance was one of the most innovative periods in history, and it lasted from the 14th to the 17th century. And one of the significant contributors to the Renaissance was the sacking of Constantinople, where many texts, much plunder was taken to Europe, and that money, that technology, the learnings, the books which covered the classics were used to as a foundation for the Renaissance. So I'll just go out here on the balcony and spend some time out here. And the other thing that the author also talked about, which I have never thought about before, but he said that the mirror the mirror, which basically was invented in that 14th century, was one of the causes that helped create innovation, because for the first time in the history of man, we looked at ourselves. It was a period of introspection and self-awareness, where we did self-portraits, we wrote books in the first person, and it created the right environment and the right catalyst for significant change, growth and development. So as you can see, and that's why it's important, in our homes, in our families, in our work environments, in our countries, we all need, as leaders, to create the right environment to foster growth, development, to make it safe, to enable people to want to take risks and to springboard, and to make technology available, to make knowledge available, to make it free. And that's why we live in an age now with the internet, with technology, where there is significant amounts of knowledge available to enable us to collaborate with people in the same household, in the same suburb, in the same country, or across the globe if you want to, because there's over 3.5 billion people who have access to the internet, and there is just so much information and data available for people to use as a springboard, that it's going to create significant opportunities going forward. Because the author here in his second point in this book says that innovations can lead to other unexpected innovations and even cause laws to change. So what does he mean by this? So what he means here is that some innovations that come into our life are completely unexpected, and they're directly responsible for huge changes. For example, in days gone by, in times before the light bulb, for example, we had candles that we used to light the darkness, to light our homes, to light the roads, to light our communities. But these candles were made of whalehead, and it's called spermaceti. Spermaceti is the material that came from the whalehead and was used to fuel the candles in early times. Believe it or not, if it wasn't for the light bulb, which acted as a springboard for huge further innovations, if it wasn't for the light bulb, then whales would have been extinct a long, long time ago, because candles would have continued to have been made from the spermaceti, which is from the whalehead, and the whales would have been no longer part of our world. The light bulb came into the world and made candles redundant to a certain extent, but it also allowed us to do other things with light bulbs. Light bulbs, or that bulb technology, was used in those early computers, but it was also used in flash bulb photography. And it was through flash bulb photography that we're able to disseminate a lot of images which were used to help change opinion, which then helped change laws and changed many lives. So one thing leads to another, and before you know it, tremendous change has been integrated into our societies, into our lifestyles, into our workscape, and improvements just generate, which lead to further improvements, to further technological breakthroughs, and it just keeps spiraling, positively spiraling. And it has, of course, positive effects and negative effects. And what he goes here on to say is that not all innovations are inevitable. Some are very personal, because the other thing that I learned today, which I wasn't quite aware of, which is important to understand, is that Thomas Edison wasn't the first to come up with the light bulb, because back in his time, 20 or more scientists had working prototypes at the same time. What separated Thomas Edison from his peers was that he was the one who popularized it the fastest. So it's not about being the first to develop something, it's being the first to be able to popularize it, market it, and enable people to see the opportunity and get on board. I was also interested to learn that the first software was developed in 1840 by a woman named Ada Lovelace, who put together some code to enable French to be translated into English. And she did this all alone. She didn't do it in a team. She didn't do it with lots of people around her. She didn't do it with fanfare. But some people love to work alone, and if you love working alone, then that's something that you need to continue, I guess is one of the messages coming from this book. But we need to understand that one thing that is really, really powerful to incorporate into our thinking is that every single step is part of a compounding effort that snowballs over time, where each innovation allows somebody else to start from a different starting point, to start from the shoulders of the person before them. So they're starting with a lot more advantage. They've had other people do the hard yards before them, and they've had a different starting point. Just like a lot of the children in Australia. You know, my parents and grandparents were the first to come to this country, and they worked 7 days a week, and they worked very, very hard to lay a foundation. And I started from a different starting point from my parents. My parents were able to send me to a private school where I got educated. I was able to go on to university. So I had advantages that they didn't have. But the advantages that I had were basically enabled by their hard work, their innovation, their focus and their love. So this is one of the key points to come out of this book, is that we're all starting from a different starting point, and we need to respect it and to appreciate it and to know that we are fortunate and we are lucky, and that each generation hopefully will start from a better starting point from the one before them. But we also need to understand is that we have challenges, there are problems which are caused by technology and innovation, but we need to take the good with the bad, and to understand that with technology comes risks, but not to be sucked into worrying too much about the risks, but to learn how to surf the opportunities, because as we said, each technology is going to bring huge future benefits once they're incorporated into our work, into our mindsets, and we can leverage what we've got. So let's finish off with a positive affirmation. I'm alive, I'm well, I feel absolutely great. To my friends and family, stay connected, stay relevant, stay reasonable, and let's make the most of every single day Let's make the most of every opportunity. Let's share our experiences so that we can be the wind beneath our wings, the wave beneath our board, the zephyr behind our sails to help us propel forward, and be the turbines, be the propellers which push our fleet, our boats to where we want to head. So there we go. Take care, everybody. We'll finish off with a positive affirmation. I'm alive, I'm well, I feel absolutely great. To my friends and family, stay connected, stay relevant, and let's make every post a winner, as they say. And I look forward to coming to you again from a different location with a different message, a message of empowerment. And I'm well on my way to reaching my 1,000th blog over the next 30 days. So I need to do 4 or 5 a day. This is my 4th for today. And I'm just so happy that I have the energy and the purpose to keep me humming along. Yassas, take care, and we'll chat again soon. Bye for now.